Alright, let's get ready to... Oh my god, I didn't realize I had candy still here. That's great. I love knowing that I have candy. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel where I cover nostalgic, obscure, or otherwise strange content. Today, we are taking a brief break, as we occasionally do, from talking about very old things to talk about things that are brand new but very nostalgic. Today, well, yesterday, Hocus Pocus 2 dropped on Disney+. And I don't know about you, but I love Hocus Pocus. I covered the first movie on my channel a while back. I have Hocus Pocus tarot cards because of course I do. I think I might actually mess around and pull some of these at the end of the video. And if you're not into tarot, you can just skip that part. Also, can I just brag about, I'm gonna have to put some close-up shots because you can only somewhat see them here. They need a bigger shelf, but Noah Hutchins, friend of the channel, an amazing crocheter. Is that the right word? Crochet artist? Maker of very nice crochet dolls, made me not only Dragon Bean, which is, by the way, an original creation based off of the puppet used in the Jim Henson movie, just also included sending me the Sanderson sisters that he made, which are so beautiful. I was so overwhelmed with these that I was just like in tears, just like, this is the most amazing thing. And I'm just so grateful that he chose to share this art with me and with all of us on the channel. So they are going to all live here forever now. But Hocus Pocus is obviously a huge thing to people that love Halloween. It's iconic. As far as Halloween movies go, this is one of those really just classic, nostalgic movies that encapsulates what the entire holiday is for a lot of people. And they finally made a second one 29 years after the first one. Can you believe it's been that long? It's been 29 years since the original Hocus Pocus released. It was one of those movies that didn't do very well initially at the box office, but then gained massive success as a cult classic, and almost 3 decades later, we're finally getting to see what happens after the first movie. So if you haven't seen the first movie in a while, I will have the video that I did on the first one linked, or just, go watch the movie without me talking over it, that's fine. But let's just jump into the brand new Hocus Pocus 2. That rhymed, and I didn't mean it to. That also kind of, well, I rhymed 2 and 2, that doesn't count, but it still had that flow, That rhymed too. Okay, sorry, I'm gonna get to the video. This movie starts off with a prolonged flashback scene where we actually get to see the Sanderson sisters as children, which is interesting. I never really thought about that because, they eat children, so seeing them as children, it's interesting.
Out of my way!
Feels full circle.
No!
But like, in an Ouroboros way where the circle is trying to consume itself. Did that make any sense? I'm so not making sense tonight.
Winifred Sanderson.
I love that she has the big hair as a child and you can see it clearly under the bonnet.
Surprise!
Happy birthday!
This is the worst day of my life!
Oh, it's not a very good birthday, is it?
I discovered a sow doll grind pig's hooves and mix it with water. It creates mysterious goo.
Ew.
And I must marry. Then I took the Lord's name in vain. Twice.
Hell yeah, you go, girl. Can I just say, the 3 kids playing the Sanderson sisters as kids committed so completely, and I love that. Especially Winnie, but all of them did a great job. Like, look at the gestures and the movements, which is also what gestures is, but like, look at the energy. It's so great. So on Winnie's birthday, the Reverend in town is like, hey, you need to get married to a person that I picked out that you don't know. Gross.
It's adorable.
But then her sisters give her a spider for her birthday. She loves it.
We searched for the largest one we could find.
Sorry. If you have an arachnophobia phobia, shall we say, look away for a couple seconds.
Open the door.
We're not here. Yes?
Me when everybody's asking me to cover Winnie the Pooh blood and honey.
And agree to marry John Pritchett.
That's Tony Hale, right? Because Tony Hale, spoiler alert, not really, he plays the mayor who's a descendant, but I didn't even realize the first time watching this before he showed up, obviously, as Tony Hale. Well, as a character who just looked like Tony Hale. Did I put it together that this was him? I think that's really funny.
Allow me a moment to reconsider. No.
You go, Winnie.
Oh, praise God. She is so ugly and unpleasant.
Hey, don't talk about Winnie like that.
If I shall marry anyone, it will be Billy Butcherson.
Oh, poor Billy. We all know how it ended up for Billy.
Why me?
Because we are soulmates.
Since when?
Since we shared that kiss in the graveyard.
A kiss! The blasphemy.
He relishes in her petulance.
Correct.
You can't have a crush on somebody until you're married, kid.
I banish thee from Salem!
So because of the Reverend not getting his way, he banishes 3 children that don't have parents. They are orphans, and he's like, get out of town, kids.
Take the girls!
What?
Oh, and he takes Winnie's sisters away, her 2 younger sisters, and I really like this. It sets up what ends up being a through line throughout the movie, that Winnie really, at the end of the day, is just a big sister who really does love her siblings, and I think that's really sweet. So the Reverend, who's an asshole, has this little spider crawl up his arm, and he starts freaking out.
The 8 legs of sin!
The 8 legs of sin. I'm pretty sure that's what my mother would say if she saw this spider or any spider. The 8 legs of sin. So they run off into the woods. Mary says they should form a calming circle, and so they start thinking calming thoughts.
The Reverend screamed when he saw the spider.
And then they start hearing noises, and I'd be scared for them if I didn't know that they'd go on to sing I Put a Spell on You in front of everybody and make it iconic. But they hear a witch singing the song that Sarah ends up singing to lure in all the children when they become powerful witches, and I just think it's really great that she's the one that's the most captivated by it. This movie it's in the little touches that it really pays tribute to the first one, but still building off of the first one and not trying to just do the first one all over again. So then they get caught by this witch. And after the witch is very creepy, she's like, hey, I feel like you guys are also witches, so she doesn't kill them. In fact, she becomes somewhat of an adoptive mother to them. We find out that this is who they were referring to when they said mother. What would mother think in the first movie?
Salem is dreadful.
Only because it is run by fools!
Yeah, witches haven't really had a very fun track record in Salem especially, but things are working out alright for Salem now, I think. But because it's Winnie's birthday, it's her 16th birthday,
Happy 16th birthday, child.
But
I'm a witch. I know things.
instead of a husband that she doesn't want, she gets a magic book that she does.
Magicae Maxima, the power spell. Ooh, let's do this one.
But she tells her, the only spell you should never do in the book is the one that gives you all the power in the universe. So I don't know why it's in the book, but, you know, whatever.
What will we do with it, Winnie?
They then sneak back into the village and use the spells that they now know to cause chaos and basically get a little bit even.
Now we'll be together forever!
Satan's work, Eric!
So basically, you could argue that literally all the chaos of the first movie and everything subsequently that's going to happen in this movie, all the faults of the organized religion that pushed them out. Is that my hot take? My hot Halloween take of the day? There it is. Hocus Pocus happened because religious trauma. So now we're in the present day. We meet our main character. I apologize that I am blanking on her name right this second. But it is her birthday. Her birthday is Halloween. Which, by the way, if your birthday is Halloween, I'm so jealous of you. That is obviously the coolest day to have a birthday on.
Oh, incoming.
We quickly learn that this character is this character's best friend, and this character used to be best friends with both of them, but doesn't talk to anybody.
So what are you guys doing tonight? Birthday ritual, scary movie marathon.
They have a coldness between them, as if they were all in like a pop group back in the day together, and now they hate each other, you know?
Birthday ritual, scary movie marathon, same as every year, you know?
Yeah.
We learn that these two girls are going to do what they always do on Halloween / the one girl's birthday, which is to go and do witchy shit and then watch horror movies, which sounds like a fun night to me.
Sorry I'm late. I decided to have 2 breakfasts.
We then meet the other girls, very present but very unintelligent boyfriend.
You gotta come check out Ryan's car. We covered the entire thing in tinfoil.
Yeah, she's a really dedicated witch. She's like got the charm, she's got the crystals. It's clear that the producers of the movie did at least a cursory search into witch talk before making this movie.
We invited the whole grade, even Glenn.
Poor Glenn.
Glenn! What?
He's probably very nice.
You're throwing a party tonight?
How is that even possible? Your dad would never let you do that.
Teenagers in movies are always throwing parties that their parents don't know about. Her dad's the one that's the mayor, though, so that feels like it's risky.
The three of you used to do witch stuff every Halloween.
It's not witch stuff.
And what's that?
A good luck charm in case there's a pop quiz.
Also, the boyfriend hates the main girls, thinks they're weird.
In honor of Halloween, I've prepared the scariest class possible. A pop quiz. What the
Wish you had the witchy shit now, huh? Don't you, dude? Who dresses up like a banana for Halloween? I mean, if you did, I'm sure you pulled it off, but bananas, ugh.
What did you do?
He accuses her of cursing him, even though she was literally just whispering random words to freak him out and he fell for it. And they both end up getting detention because the used-to-be friend does not stick up for her.
It did sound like you said Satan.
I said seitan. I was literally listing vegan food.
See?
So these three girls have another tense moment. The other guy gets detention, he's mad. It's a whole thing. We now walk through this like carnival that's being set up for Halloween by the dad mayor.
Someone's got a birthday, someone's got a birthday, right?
Tony Hale is great. Some of you may know that I was an extra, core extra on Love, Simon, Tony Hale plays the principal in. He just seemed to be having so much fun and it made everybody around him more willing to have fun, you know? He also was great as Mr. Benedict in the Mysterious Benedict Society. If you read those books as a kid, there's a series on Disney Plus, you should watch it.
I'm gonna see you at the festival tonight. Look at this.
My guy loves Halloween.
She's running late.
Oh.
She had a mascara crisis. Right.
Mascara. Is everything okay?
And he loves his daughter, and he knows that mascara crisis could mean crying, which he's very worried about. I hate to say it. I don't want to say it.
Yes.
Are you heading to your sacred circle?
We actually don't call it the Sacred Circle anymore.
Oh.
We may have to put the mayor in the Zaddy list. I'm sorry. We have Carson Drew from Nancy Drew. We have the dad from the Princess Protection Program. We have William Shatner from that episode where he's in the airplane on the Twilight Zone. And now we have the mayor from this movie.
You have to have one of her caramel apples.
Look at him. He's all excited about candy apples. We stan a girl dad who loves candy and Halloween. You know what I mean?
It'll change your life.
He's ready to cry over those candied apples. Look at him. We need to protect this man. They then go to the magic shop and watch the owner, who's also a friend of theirs, because they're always there, give this very, like, touristy, like, rundown of the first movie.
The Sanderson sisters were the most powerful coven that ever lived.
Which kind of also acts to catch everybody up in case you really haven't seen the first one ever or in a long time, so it's functional.
You really don't want people opening that book, huh?
He's also got the book locked up, and I feel so bad for the book. Black cat. This one doesn't talk, though. Sorry to disappoint you there.
Sounds like someone had a little too much candy.
Can I finish this?
His dad just thinks he's having a conversation, not watching a show.
Another candle. Black flame candles are half off for Halloween.
And uh-oh, look at that. He says he's got another candle, and then that he's selling the candles. Ooh, it's not really one of the candles.
They cannot return.
Yeah, apparently the events of the first movie have gone down in local legend, which makes sense. I mean, it'd be hard to believe that no one was talking about that night if it really happened, you know?
I have a gift for your empowerment. Ooh. Just the thing for a young mystic.
He gives her a specific candle for a birthday present, and then she leaves.
Ooh, free stuff.
Oh, I'm sorry. They pick up Angelica leaves, and then she leaves. Yes, that will become important later. That is Chekhov's Angelica leaves. Chekhov's Angelica leaves. Great name for a band.
Okay, ready?
They go to do their ritual in the woods, and look at that. It is exactly where the Sanderson sisters were all those years ago. They light the candle. It doesn't burn out. And then, uh-oh.
Izzy?
We hear the creepy singing. You know what's gonna happen. Well, actually, I did not see that coming. I didn't see the earth literally splitting in two. But this one girl, I'm pretty sure her name is Izzy, she's on the right track. She's doing exactly what I would do. She's like, hell no, I am not gonna get swallowed up by the earth today, thank you. Oh, flash warning for this one part, sorry. I'll have a timestamp so you can skip past. This is obviously the scene where the Sanderson sisters come back to life, but I'll have a way for you to skip past, because it's very strobe lighty right now.
And so reviled, raising Cain until we got exiled.
They're back, baby! It's amazing that these three actresses just step back into this role all these years later, like nothing has changed. It's wonderful.
What do we do? I don't know, but I literally can't stop watching them.
Same.
The witches are back. Stone cold meanies.
How is this happening?
They get a musical number in the woods.
Who are they performing for?
Oh god. I'm not gonna lie, that got me the first time I watched it. For real. No one's surprised. She calls for the Book, who is still locked away in solitary confinement, poor Book, and so it doesn't come to her.
We see a teenager. We will kill it.
To get out of being eaten, the girls are pretty quick on their feet, and they manage to convince the Sanderson sisters that they are themselves witches who consume children to look as young as they are, and tell them that there is a whole industry for staying young and beautiful.
Really, we're 40?
40? Oh, 40.
And then they take them to a Walgreens.
Look, observe, sisters. It glows from within.
One of my favorite brand placements in a movie. It's one of those brand placements where I'm not even annoyed by it because it just works as part of the bit and it's just very funny, you know?
I'm just gonna...
Don't do it, okay?
After the sisters learn what automatic doors are, they go into Walgreens.
Okay, let's get up here.
Move!
They go to leave, they get jump scared, this time by Mary.
Come on, my friends, let's get closer.
Who's like, come on, hang out with us, even though we said we were gonna eat you 10 minutes ago. They eat a bunch of beauty products.
We're obsessed with those looks.
They then meet three girls that are also dressed up like the Sandersons, and they take a picture. I love how Sarah specifically already knows how to pose for a selfie without ever having seen a smartphone.
Can we take a photo?
It's so great because the two movies are spaced so far apart, they still get to have moments where they're fascinated by newfangled technology a second time. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh, Winnie.
And then they see themselves in the weird circular mirrors that I still am not sure why they exist in every store. But they see themselves in them, they think that they're ugly, and then they freak out and figure out that they've been lied to.
How many children's souls are in those potions?
A question that he wasn't expecting to have to answer on the job today.
How many souls?
0?
Johnson & Johnson's has not used human souls in their products since the incident. I don't know what the incident would be, but that sounds really dark. Johnson & Johnson, don't sue me. They don't use human souls, to my knowledge, ever. Becca, the main girl, manages to save them with a salt circle. The Winchesters would be proud.
Just like my old one.
And then they go chasing them on brooms. And then just like Mary riding a vacuum in the first one, she surfs Roombas in this one. And I cannot find the comment, but I swear on my original video, on the video of the original movie that I made, someone in the comments section said something about surfing Roombas. I remember having this conversation in the comments with somebody.
They were the only roomies left.
I'm not saying that the producers read my comments ever, but I'm definitely trying to say that.
The book is alive!
The girls get back to the shop, the book is alive.
He woke up? Hey, buddy.
This guy clearly knows a suspicious amount about the Sanderson sisters.
You knew that was a black flame candle?
Look, I am so sorry I had to trick you.
And it turns out he tricked the two girls into lighting the candle that he knew would bring the Sandersons back to life. Thanks, friend.
Oh, sweet.
The girls get back to the magic shop, which, by the way, is set up in their old home. I don't think I mentioned that before. They don't like that it's a tourist trap now. All their stuff is missing.
It no longer smells like death.
It'd be weird, right, if you came back to your house and you realized that people had made it into, like, a tourist trap. I think about that because, like, there's, you know, several places in this country where famous people's houses, famous people who are no longer living, their houses are shrines to them, and they're basically big tourist traps. And I wonder, what would those people think? I feel like they'd be a little uncomfortable, right? Capitalism, even in death.
Oh, my darling, they hurt you.
The guy gives them their book back. I'm so tempted to ask if that was scripted for her to drop that or if it just happened. Either way, I love it. Becca and Izzy get locked in the cellar under the floorboards. They get locked away.
Yeah, I've been trying to bring you back ever since I saw you that night.
That night.
And then we find out that this character, this guy, was a kid back when the events of the first movie happened, and he, without anybody else knowing about it, saw the Sanderson sisters and has been obsessed with bringing them back to life ever since.
I chased you all the way to the cemetery.
He's a huge fan, and honestly, I can't blame him. I, too, am a fan. I love the Sanderson sisters.
Uh-oh, Winnie. What is it? 'Tis the Reverend.
They then see a picture of the mayor, who looks an awful lot like his ancestor, the Reverend, and they immediately hate him because the Reverend was a pretty big asshole, but the mayor's so sweet.
Incomprehensible. 300 years later, and the dark cloud of trash still looms over Salem.
Not everyone in his family line was a zaddy, but he is.
Mother said one day witches would rule Salem, and what have we done instead? Died?
She isn't wrong, they did die.
We are doing the Magicae Maxima.
Winnie decides that fuck it, she's going to, after over 300 years, use the give me all the power spell.
But Winnie, you promised you'd never ever do that spell. That was 300 years ago. That promise has expired.
Not sure that's how promises work, but I guess when you make a promise, especially as a child, you're not thinking 300 years in the future. I don't know. They're trying to sacrifice children, so morality has gone way out the window at this point. The book is just like, I don't want to do that spell.
Beware the power spell, for it is most dangerous. Oh, fie, we have no time for warnings.
All of us agreeing that we've read the terms and conditions. They need a couple of things for this spell, including the head of a lover, so poor Billy is about to get dragged back into all of this. You know where that's going.
Dig up my old lover, Billy Butcherson.
Okay, sure. But, you know, Billy was my lover.
Oh, Sarah, you were just playing.
Drama. Sanderson sisters tea.
God, don't you love it when the recipe requires blood?
Yeah, brown sugar, chocolate chips, blood. That's how all my recipes go.
Dost thou have the Sanderson hourglass?
No.
If you don't have it, we'll just have to kill thee.
Oh, you said hourglass.
Oh, that hourglass. Yeah, I have that hourglass.
Zachary, die, wretched Eli.
No, don't kill him.
Don't kill the cat, Jesus. Poor cat, scared out of his little cat wits.
My life depends upon this task.
She basically casts a spell so that when the hourglass runs out, our friend at the magic shop will die unless he helps them. So he's sent out to get Billy's head while they go and get the blood of their enemy, which is our poor mayor friend, because he's the blood relative directly of their enemy who chased them out of town.
We have to tell Cassie.
Meanwhile, the girls overhear all this and are like, we gotta get out of here. They try to call the third girl, but because of the magic spell, they can't actually be heard by her. But by the way, I will give it to her and her boyfriend, the whole zombie football player and ref. Very nice. Nice costumes. It's giving very When Good Ghouls Go Bad type of vibes, you know? Does anybody remember when I covered When Good Ghouls Go Bad forever ago on the channel, the R.L. Stein book turned into movie? I actually managed to find a copy of the book, and so it's going to be my R.L. Stein collection, so I'm very excited to read that on stream. It's going to be fun.
Angelica leaves.
They use the Angelica leaves to get themselves out. Something magic. Meanwhile,
How am I gonna dig up a whole grave in time?
poor Billy is being dug up from his grave once again.
Who are you?
Poor Billy. And Billy talks now, and he's all, like, British and sophisticated. I love Billy. Poor Billy deserved better.
Stop! I am a good zombie!
Like, he seems like a pretty nice guy. Don't run away screaming.
I was woken up and never put back to sleep.
We also find out that the poor guy's been literally awake since 1993. That sucks, dude. That means he's lived through all the shit that we've lived through right alongside us. Billy was there since 93. COVID pandemic, he was there. 2008 recession, he was there. All of the Bush administration, he was there. Poor guy.
Were you there that night?
Bill Clinton messing up Monica Lewinsky's life at just 22 years old. He was there. I could just keep naming things that Billy was there for. Let me know in the comments what you think Billy was upset by in the past 29 years.
I'm doing a spell to kill Winifred.
So he's like, hey, come with me and we'll kill her together. And Billy is like, I would like to get even with my ex that literally killed me and sewed my mouth shut. We don't talk about that enough. That's rough.
You cheat on her with Sarah, so she killed you.
What?
We also find out that he never cheated on Winnie. He just kissed her once and then told her that he didn't want to keep dating her. And then she was spreading that vicious rumor around ever since.
She has sullied my name for eternity.
Justice for Billy, I'm telling you.
Look at, they're drowning a man.
Sanderson sisters get to the Halloween festival. They seem to be having fun.
Thou must never announce that they are poison, sister. No one will eat them if they think they're deadly.
They give some advice to an aspiring witch.
I can't believe it worked!
The girls manage to cast a spell, so now they're free.
We need to get Mr. Trask somewhere safe.
And to save the unsuspecting mayor's life, they know they need to get him away from the carnival, and the only way to do that is to rat out their former friend. So they're like, hey, she's having a party at your house.
Cassie's throwing a party.
Oh, fun. Where?
At your house.
What?
He looks so hurt. I feel so bad.
With boys. You should get home as soon as possible.
We also can only assume that he's a single parent because him being away means that his daughter automatically thinks she won't get caught. So this poor guy's just going through it alone. I feel bad for him.
Yeah, my daughter's about to ruin her future.
The girls can't get the book off the shelf because it's been enchanted.
They must have put a spell on the book or something.
Let's say Bewitched. It feels more on brand for this movie. Enchanted's a different movie that I'm going to cover.
Looking good, fellas. Very authentic.
The girls compete in a Sanderson sisters look-alike contest.
Is that what I look like? Damn, girl, we look foxy.
That's such a cute. I love it. I was reading that they cast several drag queens, some of which were RuPaul's Drag Race alum. And I think that's just so great because, you know, I don't know that much about the drag scene, but I do know that it is responsible in a big part for why Hocus Pocus has such a long-lasting impact and a fan base. And in return, this movie is so important to that whole community. So the fact that they pay tribute to that, I love it. There's so many places where they not only pay tribute to the movie, but also to the community that didn't exist when they made the first movie. So that's cool. I like that.
What sayest thou? What sayest thou?
They also lose at their own lookalike competition. I would love to see any celebrity lose at a lookalike competition for them.
Try to keep up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And then they get the band to play them a song. The band looks very sad about it, but they do. And so they get another number. We get 2 Sanderson sisters numbers. In this number, they sing One Way or Another, and it is so catchy.
Sister, one way or another.
I don't even like that song normally, but when the Sanderson sisters do it, it's great.
I say into I, alpha, maybe up and down. In come a Koreana, hey, hi.
Hi! I can't jump because I'm in my chair, but I'm grooving along in spirit.
You better all be clean by the time I get back, young lady. I love you.
The scolding and then the I love you.
Get out of my house!
Now, wooden face.
Shove it, Satan.
Winnie also sees some people watching the part with the marshals from the first movie to play tribute to them, which is really sweet. At first I had like lore questions surrounding like, well, does the first Hocus Pocus exist in this world? But like, as somebody online pointed out, it could easily be a biopic because again, the whole first Hocus Pocus, that night has gone down in infamy. And it's a really sweet tribute.
Okay, come on, Cassie.
The girls try to call back their friend, but by the way, I'm more concerned about, did they steal a school bus? I've got questions.
Devil. Really?
Oh, and these people that are beating out the mayor in line for his candy apple also are dressed up like them. That's cute. And I mean, he's sad about it, but it's cute. They show up at Cassie's house. She's mad that she got grounded, but like, I mean, snitches get stitches usually, but like, she literally did it to save her dad's life, so.
I told the eggs would work.
We'll explain, but inside now.
The Sandersons show up and they all hide in the house.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
There is a small woman trapped in that box.
The Sanderson sisters having empathy for Alexa while simultaneously being willing to eat children is one of the funniest dichotomies. Dichotomies, is that the right word? I don't think that's the right word. It's one of the funniest things I can think about.
Okay.
Oh, he finally got his apple.
This is a flash mob. You're in a flash mob.
All the people who are cursed to dance, he thinks they're a flash mob.
So where's my apple?
Oh, he lost his apple.
Hey, Sandy, no. Oh, come on, no.
Not the apple. Billy's good at carnival games. Who would have thought?
This is all the Aurelia juice in Salem.
She tricks them into thinking that the last thing they need for their potion is Dasani water. I mean, literally anything would be a better use for Dasani than drinking it, but, you know, that's a bummer for them. That's not gonna work.
Kill him, Winnie.
Basically, she uses this lie to trap them in a salt circle.
Oh, this? Oh no, this is just water.
Well, it's Dasani. Whether or not it's water, I'm still unsure of. Who knows what's in Dasani?
You are not trying to kill them, you are helping them!
Billy puts together that he's being lied to 2 seconds before he gets his head stolen.
Wait!
And he runs away.
Unhand me!
And then the poor guy just gets his head stolen anyway.
Follow the sound of my voice, you dustbag!
Billy needs a hug and a friend and his head back.
You guys iced me out?
You ditched us.
We find out that these 3 friends stopped talking over a miscommunication.
Cassie, why would we want to hang out with people that just make fun of us?
I don't make fun of you guys.
We find out that the dumb boyfriend doesn't understand what feelings are.
Pointing out people's differences and saying that they're weird is making fun of them.
Poor sweet child.
I thought I was just making conversation. I've got so many people to apologize to.
Like, he's awful, but he's not trying to be, so I guess there's hope for him.
Sorry. Cassie's party is over. It's time to go home.
The mayor shows up and there's just 3 women that he doesn't know in his garage.
You're the Sanderson sisters, right? I could play the Reverend, you know?
Oh, no, don't remind them of the Reverend. You want them to forget about the Reverend. Does he know that the Reverend, he has to know that that's his ancestor, but he'd be very disappointed in him if he knew, you know? If he knew what he did.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Oh, it's for your safety.
It's for my sake. Stop.
And then his child and her 2 friends are throwing salt at him.
I have had an awful day. Do you know that?
Poor guy.
The Gothic Golden Girls in my garage. What the heck? This has been a very bad Halloween.
He's had a tough Halloween. That sucks. This is why you should just subscribe to Halloween all year round. Then even if Halloween itself is bad for some reason, you still can just celebrate Halloween all the rest of the year. Like an unbirthday.
So I didn't get an apple, so then I went to some Walgreens who turned out their lights, which makes no sense. What Walgreens turns out their lights?
Yeah, why would the Walgreens have their lights off? That didn't have anything to do with us.
But you know what I got? You know what I got in the dark? This pathetic thing.
He got an inferior candy apple.
Looky, my roomies, they hate mess.
And then the Roombas help break the salt circle to let the sisters out, proving my theory that Roombas are evil. This movie does have several brand or product placements, but they utilize them, I think, very well. I don't tend to mind product placements as long as it's utilized as part of the story, and they do that very well. Elf was another movie that did that very well, and yeah, it just leads to a lot of funny bits. Alright, so Becca's definitely a witch. This is her 16th birthday, she clearly has powers. With Billy's head on the altar, the magic shop guy is like, his conscience has been kind of eating at him this whole time, so he's like, I'm gonna kill the Sanderson sisters.
Oh, they're still gonna kill you.
How did I kill them first?
And Billy's just like, why couldn't you think of that before you took my head, dude?
Well, if thou hast nothing nice to say.
She stitched his lips closed again. Damn, that sucks. They also take a little bit of blood. They don't kill Cassie, but because her dad is the mayor, so she's also a direct descendant of the Reverend, they take a little bit of her blood by, I'm so sorry. It's not graphic, but they nick a little bit of her neck, and it just upsets me every time. I'm like, why? You could have literally, I mean, don't harm people, but like, why'd you go for the neck?
I call upon this sacred land.
The three sisters are trying to do the spell.
Underneath the full moonlight.
Here's another moment that I would love to know if it was scripted or not, because I think it's great that we can't tell. It feels so organic, but it would be really cute if it was genuinely a mistake that they kept in. I love stuff like that in movies. Becca distracts the sisters while Izzy gets Cassie out. Yes, I have remembered all three of their names. The other two Sandersons have direct powers, which I never noticed they didn't before, but they do. They're doing exactly what I would do with lightning powers, which is just to shoot it at random inanimate objects just to see if it works, like Spider-Man, but with lightning. Lightning Man.
I am not a fool.
Yeah, you tell her, Sarah.
Shut up and get going! Of course, Winnie.
You were almost there, Sarah.
You have a choice.
And what choice would that be?
I'm talking to the book.
But then, hey, Becca steals the book, convinces the book be her book and not the Sandersons' book, so that's cool.
Beware the power spell, for it is most dangerous.
The spell book has them read the warning that the Sanderson sisters skipped over, and it tells them that to cast the spell to get all the power, they'll have to give up the thing that they love the most.
Power's meant to be shared.
And then because there's this theme of powers meant to be shared, they say, you know, what is a witch without her coven? A witch is nothing without her coven, which I love that quote, by the way.
A witch is nothing without her coven.
Makes me think about what I want to do with the Granny Coven shirts that I'm still trying to make. But anyway, Becca, much like how Winnie has all the natural power and then shares it with her sisters, Becca shares it with her two best friends, and they become a coven. Yay!
It's time.
The Sandersons are still able to cast the spell without the book, and they are victorious.
You should have read the warning.
Becca's like, you didn't read the terms of service. Now you have to give up the thing you love most. And guess what? The thing that Winnie Sanderson loves the most is her sisters.
Winnie?
She is a big sister at the end of the day, and at the end of the day, big sisters love their siblings.
Don't leave me.
Art thou not coming with us?
And so they get like Thanos snapped. And then Winnie has like a crisis. It's actually very sad. I wasn't expecting to cry the first time I watched Hocus Pocus 2, but there it is. I always cry at the end of the first one when Binks, spoiler alert, goes to heaven, so I should have seen it coming.
They were the price you paid.
Oh, not my sisters.
So then she feels remorse for what she did, and she's like, fuck it, I don't want all the power, I want my sisters back. And
What is this feeling? Oh, I think it is my heart.
it's a very nice, like, human moment for Winnie that I didn't see coming.
Oh, book. For old time's sake.
She's like, book, please. And the book's like, fine. And so the book gives them a spell.
We're with you. Okay. The spell for reuniting.
So they do a reuniting spell.
Lost and gone and out of sight.
And the other two are doing the chant. So they're like full circle, like a good witch version of the Sanderson sisters. It's just so cute. I like it a lot.
But what happened? Where are they?
The spell doesn't bring them back. It sends you to them.
And then it doesn't bring the other two sisters back. It Thanos snaps Winnie so that they can all be together in the Shadow Realm, Witch Heaven, wherever they are.
Thank thee. And how lucky art thou to have each other.
But she's happy about it. So the Sanderson sisters are together at last and not ruling the world. So that's that. It would probably be terrible if they ran the world, but it would also probably be fun. I'd like to see like one day of that. How bad could it really be?
Stop, Sanderson sisters!
These dudes show up. Well, this dude and Billy's torso shows up. He hasn't gotten his head back.
Your body to your head here.
I am not speaking to you. Now give me my bones.
But then he gets his head back, and it turns out that the spell that they cast also has undone the magic that's been keeping him awake for 30 years almost. So he gets to chill out and go to sleep, and he's very happy about that too.
I'm gonna make sure everybody knows the truth, Billy.
And a promise is made that everyone will know that Billy is not a cheater. So everybody just know, Billy has been wronged for 29 years. We've been thinking of him as a dirty, rotten cheater. Wow, Ned Fulmer from the Try Guys is a cheater, but Billy from Hocus Pocus is not. I don't know what part of that is more surprising. Sorry to bring that up for anybody who's just started to forget about that.
Take book back, to the shop.
Actually, I think I'm gonna keep it. Book could use a new home.
They decide to keep the book, who is very happy to be in the hands of good witches now, and the three of them form a coven.
20% off. 10% off.
Okay, they deserve more than 10 or 20% off after everything that you've put them through, guy.
Guys, what do we do? I don't know.
And then they go skipping off arm in arm like the Sandersons do, really driving home that they are the next generation of Sanderson sisters pretty much now. And then that's the end of the movie until, hang on, we get a credit scene where the Sanderson sisters are all performing. It's a full version of the song that they were singing in the woods when they first get there.
Stone cold meanies, as a matter of fact. The witches are back.
It's really cute. But wait, there's still more. We have an after credit scene. If you watched it but didn't watch the after credit scene, they're taking cues from Marvel. We have a scene. Kitty! Yes, it's revealed that there is another candle, and for some reason I fully suspect this cat, this shady motherfucker right here, he's gonna be the one to bring them back somehow. That's what I'm left with thinking, but that is it. That is how the movie ends. Honestly, this movie did everything that I wanted it to do. It paid a very loving, earnest tribute to the first movie, while not just rehashing it, but building off of it, giving us more of the world and the lore. We also got to see the baton passed on, showing that witches aren't always a bad thing. I think witches oftentimes very negatively portrayed. So yeah, it was just cute to see some good witches, and the emphasis on like family or even chosen family, and you know, the whole what is a witch without her coven thing is very sweet to me. So yes, all in all, I very much enjoyed this movie. It is both a love letter to the first one while also being a great companion movie to the first one. And while nothing can outshine the original, I don't think that's what a sequel's job is to do. A sequel at its best just expands the story in a way that's new and interesting, in my opinion, and just kind of is a great thing to go along with the first one. Alright, I said I'd pull some cards from the Hocus Pocus tarot deck. If you think tarot is strange, this is goodbye. I'll see you in the next video. If not, chill out with me for a second. I know I never do this, but it just felt like the perfect time. Well, I sure hope this is recording. I've never used OBS to record in this way. If you watch my live streams, this is bringing back all kinds of memories. I don't know if they're good or bad, but so this is the Hocus Pocus tarot deck. For those of you who don't know, I collect tarot decks. I just find them very artistic and interesting. I don't personally interact with my decks in a way of like tarot decks show you the future or anything. I mostly just think it's a really nice way to kind of just, you know, even just to connect with yourself. I think tarot is really interesting because you've got a deck of cards, and each card represents a universal human experience. And so I just find the whole process of just like looking at these general cards and seeing like what they spark in your own mind, depending on what you may or may not be going through in your life. It's just a very, think about it as a very fun way to meditate. And I really am always interested when I get a new deck to learn about why the artist decided to interpret certain things in certain ways. And I mostly just wanted to have fun with this deck because it's super sweet, since we're talking about Hocus Pocus, and I never thought we'd talk about Hocus Pocus again to talk about, or just kind of take a look at these cards for those of you who are also Hocus Pocus super fans like me. Alright. We have the King of Potions. Right off the bat, we have Billy. All the suits are different in this deck. We've got like potions instead of cups, pumpkins instead of coins, lightning instead of swords. So this basically is the equivalent of the 10 of swords, the 10 of lightning. I don't claim to know a whole lot about tarot. It's just something that I ADHD hyperfixated on starting a while ago, and then found out that tarot kind of sort of ran in the family. So, you know, we come from a family of very like witchy, superstitious people. And so this makes me think of all of them. Right, I stopped naming off cards. 7 of pumpkins, 10 of potions. Oh boy, what's this? The 13 transformation, also known as death, in the reverse. I've noticed that all the Disney decks, because yes, Disney has put out, I believe, 4 of their very own branded tarot decks, because of course they have, and I own all of them. There's an Alice in Wonderland one, there's a Nightmare Before Christmas one, there's the Hocus Pocus one, and there is, which one am I forgetting? Oh, the villains one, the Disney villains one. Notice that none of them use the word death, they use transformation, which is what the death card means, so, you know, apples and oranges. Potions and pumpkins, if you will. The 2 of potions in reverse, the Empress in reverse, and the 3 of lightning right side up. Oh, and we have the sun. That's nice. So I love the King of Potions, if you will, because it has Billy, my boy, on it. If anybody's wondering, Winnie is the magician, I believe Mary is the moon, and Sarah is the star. King of Potions to the 10 of lightning or swords in reverse. Don't let anyone invalidate your feelings, or just don't go out in a lightning storm. I'm getting either of those feelings from these cards. I'm getting the vibe of like, use your, you know, acknowledge and just respect the things that you feel and use it to help you grow into a fuller version of yourself. I'm so glad that I don't give people life advice for a living. 7 of pumpkins to the 10 of potions. Emotional fulfillment starts with waiting for what you deserve. There you go. Put that on a bumper sticker. 4 of potions in reverse and the 8 of lightning. This card in the upright, 4 of cups, reminds us to pay attention to what we're not paying attention to or not appreciating. It's in the reverse. And then the 8 of lightning just means like feeling stuck, but also holding the capacity within yourself to get out of that situation. So it together, it kind of just makes me think of, you know, Violet Beauregard from Series of Unfortunate Events, the Lemony Snicket movie from like 2001, I think, with Jim Carrey, you know, where she's like, there's always something. And I usually hate when people give me that advice of like, just look on the bright side, because like, there's times where it's just like, hey, life sucks. You know, life just sucks. Let the things that suck and let it hurt, but also just remember that never count anything out, never count any opportunity out to be the thing that changes your life for the better. Also, these 3 cards, the 2 of potion in reverse, the Empress in reverse, the 3 of lightning, this gives me the vibe of like, don't let anybody tell you that you're not good enough because they don't get you, or don't think that you're not good enough because you feel alone and you feel like no one's there, and like, or like you don't have anything to offer other people, because you do. And it's kind of just like a reminder. All these cards are just kind of a reminder, the overarching theme, the theme that I keep seeing is just kind of like, respect your emotions. Like, that's the reminder that I'm seeing. Maybe that's just a reminder that I need, and somebody else would see something totally different, but and that's the beauty of tarot, is I see the reminder to respect your emotions, but never to let them cripple you, which is something that, it's a reminder that I always need. We have suspension in reverse and the Hierophant in reverse. Don't be stuck in place because your life is not going on the traditional path of other people's. Don't think that means that you're failing. Just means that you're walking your own path, and you should be proud of that. If you know what you want to do, do it. Don't think, Palpatine, do it. Don't think that it's silly because it's not other people's dream, because it's your dream. Says the woman sitting on YouTube reading tarot to you right now. Maybe nobody's watching this part. Maybe everybody has skipped over this part because it's just like, Avery, why? No one cares about your tarot collection. Death in the reverse, 3 of pumpkins in the reverse, and the sun. Do not think that you need anybody's help or anybody's time that doesn't make you happy. Let go of the people that are holding you back, because the only people you need in your life are the people that are going to help you shine in your best form as the best version of you. Yeah, that's what I think about. And the 8 of pumpkins is a card about hard work. It's like the 8 of coins in the regular deck, so it's a lot about like working towards your goals and seeing your work. And so yeah, based off of all of these cards, and I know I didn't explain like any of them, and everybody's so confused, but based off of all these cards, I just want to tell you, and I'm also telling myself, so future self and everybody else out there, listen to your feelings, respect your feelings. Don't think that negative feelings are a bad thing, and don't think that you are failing because you're not super peppy happy all the time. Being a well-adjusted person means understanding that sometimes things suck, and that's just out of our control sometimes. But also don't let that fear and that pain cripple you, you know? Let it guide you to, like, a better place when it's time. I don't think any of that made sense. Okay, I'm never gonna do this again. Anyway, I just feel like telling you guys all that your feelings are valid and that you are working hard and you are doing enough and you are enough. That's the vibe that I get over this whole thing. So hopefully that was like a hippy-dippy pep talk for you. The Two of Pumpkins and the lovers. The people who are meant to be in your life are going to lift you up and balance everything out, right? Like if somebody is super stressful to you, then you might want to reevaluate why they're in your life. But, you know, I might cut that whole thing out of the video. But yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing. Everything you do to support this channel means the world to me. If you're new here and you're a fan of nonsense, maybe consider sticking around because I post nonsense all the time. And remember, my name is Avery. I'm a YouTuber if you say so, because thanks to you guys, this is technically a YouTube channel. A witch is nothing without her coven, right? You guys we're like in a coven? Does that make sense? I guess it's a metaphor. You get it. It's a YouTuber metaphor.